And it's your boy Keron, aka Mr. Droid.
And we have a little bit of a tech table for you today. We just sit down, we just a kind of a more raw format.
Wait, it's a full out tech table. Don't listen to this guy.
True, but
we bringing in the whole team.
There's no table.
Hey, as Neo once said, there is no spoon.
We are the tech bench. We're just having a raw discussion today about just what we're discussing.
Samsung versus Apple. Samsung has dropped the S9. Wait a minute, Devon. We didn't even introduce our guests.
Everybody know he Josh. Everybody know he Edward.
But what if
JB Superman? Illumin8Photography.
Yes.
You don't need to follow he because he don't have really nothing.
Because you guys already know who I am.
Yeah. So at Edward Charles 868, more content than Illumin8Photography.
All right.
But all you know them.
You guys know we have our teams in full effect today. So Samsung has dropped the S9, and we had to get some iPhone 10 guys on the panel today. So
we have two iPhone 10 guys.
Edward's an iPhone 10 guy.
And Edward. I would just hope the mic can't hear you. That would be real funny.
This waste of time.
And we have two Android people, Mr. Mate 10 and Mr. S7 Edge. So we just kind of discussing Samsung versus Apple towards general. So this is just like a raw format video. We just discussing. We have no specific point. We just having a real nice discussion. So it could just
let me throw it out there.
Right.
The S9's dropped. Does this place, now we're not talking about sales, popularity, customer opinion, nothing. We're just focusing on the tech, on the smartphone itself. The S9 being dropped by Samsung, how much better or how much further along tech-wise is the S9 over the iPhone 10?
I think it's still playing catch-up, honestly. AR emoji, number 1 point.
AR emoji is not anything useful.
That's the one thing they talk about in the keynote. AR emoji.
That's because it's a gimmick. Unfortunately, we have to depend on gimmicks.
Alright, so what's it past the iPhone in terms of?
I honestly think is on equal to is on the same level.
I believe the camera a little bit lift ahead.
Alright, hold on. Let me go to moderate. So Edward,
I have an iPhone 10.
Right? What were you saying?
No, I was saying is that variable aperture means so much.
Right.
It's groundbreaking, like no other phone does.
Right.
And for even the way that it is built in Pro mode, you could do everything from right in the camera app.
You don't need anything else.
Yeah, it's fluid. I don't need to install Lightroom CC, I don't need to install Vesco Cam.
Right.
Like nothing. Like the camera works as is.
Yeah.
Right.
I think for me, with the S9, I think iPhone 10, you just know what you're gonna get. From Apple since the days of the 3GS. I mean, granted, the software and the gesture-based OS now is different. It's fresher. It's iOS.
Swiping.
Yeah.
Okay, throw it away.
So it's fresh, and I mean that is cool, but it's still iOS. It's still the same, right? So that for me always hinders me ever thinking about going to iOS because there's just not much that you could really do. So with the S9, with a lot of the new features that came out, freaking AR emoji. There's a lot of things that the S9 does that I think puts it right at the top of the heap.
Alright, so in terms of so when I think about the iPhone 10 versus like the S9, I'm not even thinking about the S9. Like we talk about like how the technology differs, right? If you're using an S9 or iPhone 10, right? So for me, I was like the biggest Android fan in the world. In fact, I still am. I really love Android. My device of choice right now is iPhone 10, right? Right. So imagine, every platform has its ups and its downs, right?
Yeah.
Like we talk about me using the iPhone 10. When I buy the iPhone 10, I buy it just because people say, yo, use an iPhone before you start judging it. And in fact, I actually buy it just because I want to use the Apple leather case, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't plan to use it for a long time, right? I buy a 6S, I plan to just have it for a while,
What a reason to buy a phone.
The case was nice though. The case was nice.
It was that live.
I have a whole video on my channel. Let's play it.
Where he spent 16,000 TT on the phone.
So pretty much when you jump into iOS, it very, very, if you use any iPhone ever since the first iPhone that was out, you know how to use iOS. Everything is the same, just with a few upgrades ever since the revamp since iOS 7. But the experience is what make the huge difference. So I pull out my iPhone 10, I have my Mac there. I don't need anything else to transfer something to and from. Continuity is life. You're browsing something on your Mac. you get up to go, you pull out your phone, it on your phone already, you just continue while you walk away.
That's
It's-
one point
it's
for
that
Apple.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that experience
Yeah.
is great, right?
Right.
But what else is there that Apple brings to the table?
Well, adding to that experience, we have AirDrop.
It's the same thing.
That's
it's
it.
okay. It's along
One
the
is
same, it's
continuity,
along
one
the
is
same
airdrop.
lines, though.
So right, it's
Of
all about
sharing,
Software.
software,
Yeah,
the
software,
ecosystem.
yeah.
Alright, I think the S9 have it definitely beat camera wise because it have the variable aperture.
Yeah.
The S9 does a point to the S9 for sure. I mean the iPhone 10 have an amazing camera, but I don't think it could really match with the S9, honestly.
Think about the top devices on DxO ranking.
Is
You don't even
Yeah, but then-
see.
Yeah, but then
iPhone.
I
20
don't,
Pro right
I don't
now.
trust DxO.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
even
that's
saying. I'm not even saying whether you trust it or not, right?
is about
But
6
we're just
or
using it as a
something like
barometer, right?
Okay.
When you're looking at the top devices that DxO has ranked,
Mm-hmm.
you don't even see iPhone there.
that.
It's
true,
not
but
even.
down.
It's a good
Well,
bit.
It's like
It's a
6
good.
or 7 or something like that
In
right now.
practical use, I honestly think the iPhone 10 is one of the top 3 cameras on the smartphone market right now. Oh, do you agree?
Only
Mm,
because of software.
Because of software.
Yeah.
Alright.
No, but that,
And like their
comes to the
their
with the Pixel too.
optimization,
Yeah.
it takes
It
a
can't be
really
top
nice
3.
image.
I think
iPhone
top
10?
right now to me honestly I think up is iPhone 10, Pixel 2 XL and S9.
No, but the Pixel shows you why software is important to
Right.
to our camera, because based on paper, the Pixel camera to what we have now is not garbage.
And then
but-
again too, to be fair, this I just talking about phones that I use. So of course there are
Yeah.
phones like the P20 that I never
Exactly.
used before.
Yeah, there's a
So-
lot of phones that kind of bump the iPhone
Yeah.
10 out there. So with it, in regards to the experience, it really is personal preference.
And app
But
quality
I
is an
just
huge
think
thing though.
app quality, well,
No,
app
like,
quality
let-
for
yeah,
sure.
Let me just put it this way.
Apple
Let me
app
let me put it this
quality
way.
is.
Let me put it this way. Google apps work better on iOS. That says a lot. That says a lot. But what's your opinion, Josh, in terms of
App quality.
no, not just app quality, but like the whole S9, iPhone 10, Android, Samsung, iOS.
I genuinely think like they're on equal, like they are pros and cons to both
Right.
of them. The cons to the S9 for me would be that Samsung or whoever the hell is making
Right.
the software, the firmware, it's just not consistent.
Right.
So like some apps would
Yeah.
be great, some
Mm.
apps would be complete trash. Whereas I believe, well, from the
Right.
bit that I've used iPhones and Apples, the everything across
Right.
the board has been
Consistent.
consistent.
Right.
Yeah.
So like the Instagram would work, the camera on Instagram is gorgeous. If I go into my Snapchat on my phone, on my Samsung, the camera is
Trash.
rubbish.
But that's Android,
that
period.
Is, yeah, that is
Yeah.
why. That is
Because
why I
of-
stopped using
yeah.
Snapchat.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've seen like all the iPhone users.
Right.
And
Because
it's
it's actually
gorgeous.
using the API from
yeah,
the camera.
it's just like,
Yes.
why can't Samsung do this?
Right.
No, but that's Android.
Yeah, well, why
Yeah,
can't
that's-
the
Yeah.
developers do that and make it work properly?
I think
Right.
because there's so much Android devices.
And that's why.
Fragmentation.
I think that's the problem.
That is
Even
why.
though even
That
because
is
of,
why.
like, updates, like how much percentage, like in terms of adoption for all on Android Oreo, like 6.7%,
Right.
and like there's 70% in terms of people who upgraded to iOS 11.
And
Right.
we're going on
And then-
Android P.
You want to know something funny about software? I still don't have GIFs on Instagram.
How?
Android Life.
How?
No, but the thing is, right,
I don't know.
even on top of fragmentation and everything, you have to remember that most of these apps were created for iOS and then ported to Android. They never really
But
give
I
it any
feel-
care and attention.
I genuinely feel like for such a mainstream, like the whole Samsung thing, they should be working, at least put a focus, have a team on that for such
Yeah.
a
Right,
big brand.
for that optimization.
Yeah.
At least let Samsung be the Samsung or Pixel.
Yeah, but remember, it's up to
Yeah.
the app developers.
Yeah.
But wouldn't they see that as more like a higher priority? No?
Remember, okay, so
That
like
should work
if
that
you
way.
are app
No,
developer,
but then
right?
again, your app don't cost anything. Your app free.
No, but think about it, right? You use an app developer. You just create Instagram. Instagram went viral. It was like let's say you create it went viral on iOS or something. You decide to port it to Android, but you're
Right.
not getting it to use the actual API. But you get a workaround. You're using the actual screen itself as the camera.
The
You're not
problem.
gonna spend that extra time to make sure
Nah,
you use the API.
the biggest problem is what Edward said earlier is there's one iPhone, there's
Right.
one iOS platform, right?
There's
And they
no-
all
Yeah.
say
Only thing different
they when
is screen size.
and it has
right
three different screen
when
sizes.
when developers are making apps for iOS, they're making it for iOS, one
Right.
pretty much one
I
product.
admit though.
When they are making Android apps, it's Samsung, HTC, LG,
5.5,
Xiaomi,
Like a
ZTE.
generic
4.7.
tablet versus a
Yeah,
tablet.
they can't make it. They can't make it for a specific. Look, right now we're having a problem with Android devices because everyone has a notch in the new phones, and we don't have notch support until Android P coming at the end of this year.
By the way, the notch is
Right?
not a feature. Please,
It's
oh
not a
God,
feature.
stop.
It's not.
Stop. The notch is not
So
a
yo,
feature.
I have a question. I have a question for you guys, right? Between Android and Apple, all right?
No,
Do you-
Android and iOS?
No,
Yes.
well, iOS is Apple, so
Well,
it
yeah,
doesn't
no,
really
well,
make sense.
fair enough.
Alright,
Between
okay.
between Android and iOS, right? Do you think that Apple is doing enough innovation to get it back to where it used to be under Steve Jobs?
No, because
Or do
Steve
you
is
think-
garbage.
Or
No,
do you think Google with Android is just so much
Alright.
further ahead?
So definitely Google is miles ahead, right?
Wow, you're actually saying that now?
No, Miles.
No.
We didn't
No,
talk about this like last week.
Wait. No.
No.
Google is miles ahead,
Google Assistant.
but Apple is where it needs to be, where I don't think it should even be innovating. And that's the bad part.
All right,
Oh,
Edward,
it's like
there is
you-
documented.
There is a quote from Black Panther where Shuri tells
I didn't see
T'Challa.
it yet.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Shuri tells T'Challa is like sometimes even when things work, they can be improved.
yeah.
Right.
Just because
That
it
is
doesn't
what
mean it can be
Samsung and all those Android people doing.
Yeah.
But Apple they have their core
Their mentality
thing.
they kind of
and it works for them because they're consistent.
right.
That's true.
Like the
Consistency is
little
important.
changes they make, they know that okay, this is going to disrupt the customer base, but they're
Right.
still going to buy.
Now,
Like-
okay,
Like the iPhone.
Yeah.
10.
okay,
like
to that point,
yeah.
right? This is my thing to that point. Is it because Apple doesn't have to? Because
that's what
they
they
don't
think.
have no
They
competition.
don't have to.
If, like, let's just say if Apple had licensed out the software, iOS, to whoever,
Right.
and there was actual competition on the iOS platform,
Yeah, there would have been more
would Apple then say, okay, we need to innovate at a much higher rate?
So is it that you are saying that the Android base, all the Android devices are not competition for iOS devices?
Not really.
Not that.
Not really, no, because
Probably
an
feature,
iPhone person
Yeah.
is an iPhone person.
They're very
Right.
unlikely.
They're very unlikely, right? It's two different.
I like the note.
Yeah, cool. No problem with
Everyone would
that.
love the note.
But Apple people are Apple people, and Android people are. It's kind of like you have Mac OS and you have PC.
Yeah.
Don't bring a PC.
Yeah, you
Don't
have
bring a
Mac OS.
PC to a Mac OS person.
Yeah,
They'll-
you have Mac OS and then you
Right.
have trash.
So, so with Apple, right? If they're because they don't have no direct competition, only Apple makes Apple. So you have to jump on board with
Right.
whatever they do,
Whatever they
right?
do, right.
So if they don't want to bring out features until 4 or 5 years from now, then if you want to stay with Apple, you got to do with
That's what
that.
they've been doing, because even back to like the whole camera thing. Like Apple hasn't moved, like hasn't. I don't think they've changed their sensor size or the
Right.
megapixel count for the past couple years.
Right.
Right.
But-
Whereas even the Pixel line and the Nexus line,
They're just innovating.
is innovating. Samsung's trying to innovate. They using.
Yeah.
So Apple just kind of relying on the software
Mm-hmm.
and fan base. Fan base.
Fan base first.
Because because the thing about it is, like, I've had Android devices and that kind of thing, and to me what really sets an iPhone apart is I pick up my iPhone, I know for sure it's gonna work.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna open Facebook and I crash on my or
Right.
say,
You
"Not
don't
responded."
have that
Like,
possibility.
I don't have that possibility.
Right.
Yeah.
I admit only on the iPhone 10 there have been some hiccups with certain apps, like because of the notch it's creating a issue
Right,
with
right.
certain apps. But I mean it shouldn't be
Right.
6 months in.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
We halfway in the
And that's the
life
next.
cycle
That's
of
the next thing
iPhone.
with Apple though. Like if there was a bug today, within the next week, you know that an upgrade gonna come out and that's gonna be done.
That is because of they have the ability to focus
Right.
on that one.
On that one
device.
product.
Yeah.
Because
Versus
they have a maximum of 3 phones in a life.
right.
Yeah.
iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, iPhone 10.
Now I have a next question for you guys. All right.
Perfect smartphone.
Who? We couldn't do that question because the iPhone's in the conversation. No, okay. All jokes aside.
If we make a Frankenstein phone then.
Hold on.
Good, nada.
I want to know, has has the target market for Apple changed with their iPhones? Like, who is the iPhone made for at this point? Because think about that, right? The price of iPhones is skyrocketing, and the new iPhone that comes out this year is pushing the boundaries even more. It's gonna be even more expensive than the iPhone 10, right?
Yeah, but then we talk about
So-
price, whereas the Note 8 was the same price as the iPhone 10.
No, but
the
they're
price dropped really quickly though.
right.
Because Samsung could never just hold price.
No, Androids can never hold price.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, right? Who is Apple targeting now? Like, who would this iPhone? Who are these iPhones coming for? Because if you're a basic user,
Right.
it used to be like, okay, when I was working in the stores, right? If people wanted a basic phone that was very easy to use, learning curve was very small, I would recommend iPhone in a heartbeat because there really is no learning curve, right? But now, given the price tag and given where the prices are going, I'm like, can I recommend
Remember,
that phone
as
to?
high as the iPhone 10 price went, the 8 and the 8 Plus still remain at $649.
No, okay, no. You know why you can't bring it up? Because that's just Samsung. There's a million
I'm talking about
Androids.
the iPhone.
Okay, alright.
And like the 6S and the SE, they're still on the market.
They're still on the
And they're
market.
still getting
So you
upgraded.
have like a brand new iPhone you can get for like what, $450?
For how long though?
For a
No,
4-year
hold on,
run,
the
a
updates,
4-year run.
the
So
updates.
when the
Like, for
SE,
4 years.
when they discontinue this SE, they'll bring the next SE for the same price.
Okay.
So you
And
always
what-
have like a low end, a mid range, a somewhat high end, and then the iPhone 10.
Okay,
with
gotcha.
With regards to who it would be targeted for, right? I think I read an article. It may have been satire,
Yeah.
but it is I think it is the truth. It's the reality, right? The iPhones are going to eventually just be for the elites, the people who have a little thicker wallet,
Right.
and
Yeah.
can afford to have
have a
luxury.
better one.
Yeah, it's going to become luxury.
Yeah,
instead
no,
of
but when you
just
think
a
about it, right?
consumer phone.
When you're paying, like
Yeah,
how much you're
I
paying
agree.
For, how much you're paying for S9 right now, in US wise?
So, I know the CD price.
What's the US price? Like 700 or something, or 650?
Probably.
So it's like-
Whereas
it's
that's
yeah.
the same price as the iPhone 8.
Mm.
So the latest iPhone is the same price of the latest Samsung.
Nah,
It's just
but
have this stigma that go along with it because it just everything,
You
all
know
the
why-
accessories,
you know why
so
we say that?
expensive.
Because there was also like attached to the iPhone brand.
Exclusivity?
What was it? No, it was something else. It was just overpriced,
Right.
unwarranted.
Like
Overpriced.
diamonds?
Overpriced.
Yeah.
Like diamonds?
like
Yes,
diamonds.
like diamonds. To be honest, it's funny, but
Yeah,
it's
to be
reality.
that-
Yeah.
It's just overpriced. People who don't have iPhones, people who don't have the money to spend on it.
Yeah.
They all usually we say that. I say we because I broke too.
Right.
Yeah, we say that.
So it's kind of like a
too
novelty,
much.
like it's a kind of like, ooh, that's an iPhone.
I wouldn't
it has
say it's
this
a
and
novelty.
It's
like,
a luxury.
okay,
It's a luxury.
Okay, I drive in a Cerato, but and
Benz
the Benz might be prettier,
But do the same function.
doing the same function as the Cerato. So like, why am I going to spend? It's a luxury.
Right. No,
Yeah,
but
it's a
my,
luxury.
my counter to that would be
Quality.
there are luxury Android phones, but
They
there are
are.
no non-luxury iPhones.
But
So
that
if
is
you
that
have
is
the-
because-
the
so
SE.
there is
if-
no range of iPhones.
Right,
to
right.
choose
So if
from.
you're looking for flagship, you choose Android or iOS. If you're on a budget, find a budget Android phone.
Okay,
That's
but
my
that, but
counter to that.
that brings me back to my original question. Who are the iPhones for? Who are the people that should be buying the iPhones?
I
If,
think
like you
it's-
say, there is no budget and it is going to be a flagship
I think
device,
it's for people
who are they targeting
I
now?
think it's for people who don't upgrade their devices often.
True.
Like your
But
mom,
still,
like your like I don't know, like people
But
who
still, hold on. But wait, I think like, most of the iPhone users I know would jump iPhones every time a new one comes out, though.
sometimes was
Most. Yeah,
no,
But-
no. You see, like the iPhone 10, a lot of people made the jump, but there's some people haven't bought a new iPhone since the iPhone 6S.
Because it's still
nothing
just
has
working
changed.
that good.
Because think about it.
Because nothing has changed.
No,
Yeah,
nothing must have changed.
facts,
Like, you take-
facts,
Yeah,
Including-
facts,
Nothing has changed, including performance.
facts,
Nothing.
facts.
You take a 6S,
Facts.
a 6S plus a 7S plus like your range of iPhones, you put all of them on.
A lack
they might
of
be- they may be
innovation.
differing amounts of speed,
But the experience is the same.
A lack of. You know what?
Familiarity.
Hold on, but that brings about two points. One, it just goes to show you how good the iOS software is,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And it just goes to show you how bad innovation the Apple camp
Yeah,
has gotten.
At the same time.
Siri, please.
So, you guys, thank you for our special edition of Tech Table, aka the Tech Bench,
You're thanking them for it or you're thanking them for watching it?
for watching it.
You guys, no, but seriously, comment down below which one you think is better, which
Yeah.
one you think the future has the most in store for.
Yeah, true.
S9 with iOS inside.
Or iPhone with Android inside.
All right,
10 with Android.
Josh, where can they find you?
JB Superman on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Edward?
Edward Charles 868 and Illumin8Photography. Yes,
Everywhere.
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 Also, there's a wallpaper pack that's going to be the website soon at
Plug City.
Link below, link below.
photographytt.com.
Check it out.
All right.
Wallpapers for your Android and your iPhone.
Yeah,
Both
yeah.
of them.
Both.
Yeah, both love. We love everything.
Unbiasedness.
All right. Big
Unfollow
likes.
Devon.
Tons of likes, tons of likes. If you like the video,
You know what to do.
hit the thumbs up, give us a share, and Devon,
We'll
next
see you
time.
only in the next
Yeah,
one.
let me take off this thing.